Good evening. My name is Ed Lasowski, our instructor for the course, and I want to welcome you to this evening's welcome webinar. This is the second session I'm holding, so if you missed last week's session, no problem. You can watch this and get the same information that I shared live with students. I'm basically going to go through the Blackboard page, talk about key information that you want to be aware of. And by better understanding how our course is structured, you'll better be able to get a satisfactory grade and ideally an exemplary one. So if you're familiar with Blackboard, that's very helpful. If not, I'll walk us through how the course is set up. Currently, you should be able to see my screen, the announcement page. I'll periodically put information on the announcement page at least once per week. So always check for new announcements that may appear, because I'll provide information to you in a timely manner. Walking through our course structure, next I'll click on the syllabus and book section. By now, ideally, you all have the course book that's outlined on this page as well as in the course syllabus. And of course, the course syllabus is really a foundational document that you want to have. I always suggest students print it out if they're able, but at a minimum, keep an electronic copy. I fielded several questions from students already, asking some basic questions such as, I don't know what a research paper is, where do I find information on it, what are the case studies that are due. Trust me, if you read the syllabus, that'll answer 95% of the questions you have, and then everything that is structured in the course is outlined here in Blackboard as well. You just need to click through it, which I'll be doing tonight. The faculty profile, I won't open it up. It simply shows you a little bit of an autobiography about me. Course materials, where you're going to spend the majority of your time. The course is structured such that each week the material and deliverables are covered. So for example, week 2, you'll see what the learning objectives are for the week, any reading, as well as any video clips I'm providing for your review. A reminder to participate in our discussion board forum, which I'll cover on our next topic. And then the deliverables for each week. So for example, here in week 2, the research paper title and focus area is required to be submitted. Or if you're choosing to do the research project, you would put it in one group or the other. The case study, just a reminder. So I'm putting reminders in for students to see what is due, which in this case, the case study is due at the end of week 3. And then in each week, I'll give you a preview of what's coming up in the next week. The discussion forum is standard, what you're probably going to see in almost all Blackboard type courses that are online. Each week, we will have discussion questions. I do 2 discussion questions per week. And again, I strongly recommend you look at the grading rubrics, which I'll cover in just a few minutes. But the grading rubric for our discussion forum clearly defines what the requirements and expectations are. So again, in addition to reviewing the course syllabus, I would suggest you at least at a minimum review these documents that I'll be reviewing with you tonight, or save them to your hard drive so you can have them at your ready. For me, I'm maybe old school. I prefer to have them printed, both when I was a student as well as now that I'm an instructor, because I find it easier to quickly refer to them throughout the course as needed. The case studies, there are 2 required for our course. I provide all the material right here in these 2 links. Case study number 1, you can see the instructions are there in an attached file, as are 1 journal article, and there's some links in the instruction itself that you can easily click on and follow. And I've also attached for your easy reference the case study grading rubric. Case study number 2, the same process. There are several files there for you to review and use as reference material. So for both these studies, I've really made it easy for you to access the material. You can find additional scholarly references to use as support, but I provided you already all the basics you need to complete both of the case studies. Only thing you'll need to do is find a few additional scholarly references that you would use to support your paper in addition to those that I've provided. The course does require a research paper or a research project, not both, just one. A research paper is what it sounds like. It's a standard academic paper that you would do some individual research on. The research project, again, it's involving you selecting a topic of your choice. Difference is you would present the final format in a PowerPoint or Prezi format versus a written format. I find giving students the choice to do one or the other allows those that would prefer to do a presentation the freedom to do so, or if they'd rather write the standard academic paper, that's their choice, and it's your choice. Again, you're only doing one, not both. The detail regarding what the research paper and the research project are listed in the guidelines that I provided here. You know, basically, you're going to have a deliverable due every 2 weeks through the course. And I do that so students are working on their research paper or project throughout the 10 weeks of the course, not waiting until the last week and just rapidly throwing something together, crossing their fingers and hoping it's a good job. You'll know you're doing well or not well based on the feedback I give you every 2 weeks. So again, for more information on the research paper and the project, be sure to review the guidelines, and then you decide, you choose which one you would prefer to do, the paper or the project. The grading links I've mentioned, again, strongly recommend you very carefully review these because they also will provide you with detail on how I'm grading your submissions. I use these grading rubrics when I review your assignments. They're built into the grade book, the Grade Center as well. So the case study grading rubric, the discussion board grading rubric, the research paper grading rubric, and the research project grading rubric are all right here. You definitely want to be familiar with those because by understanding the grading rubric, you can make sure you're covering all key aspects of an assignment. And by doing so, you should earn a very satisfactory grade. The rest of the other links are basically tools you can click on if you desire to access them, but they're really more voluntary websites. The ones I just covered really will cover all the information you need to know to be successful in our course. So again, welcome to our class. If you have questions as we go through, please feel free to send me an email. That usually works the best for me because I don't always carry my phone with me when I'm out and about. So send me an email. I normally respond back to students easily within 12 to 24 hours. So I would suggest using email here through Northeastern as their primary source to contact me. But if you do want to contact me on my phone, feel free. If you do call, though, and you need me to call you back, please leave a message because I don't return calls if it's just a number that I don't know where it came from. So if you do need me to call you back, leave me a voicemail, and then I'll call you back as soon as I can. Again, I want to welcome you all to our course, and I'll see you in the course room.